Hello there everybody, this is Graham, also known as the Collector 75, and welcome to another Transformers knockoff review. As you can see, this is my Transformers knockoff Generation 1 Defensor review. Now, whether they are, I think they're more Guard City coloured, which is of course from the Operation Combiner. I heard about this one around the time that I bought my original Generation 2 knockoff Bruticus, the double-sized version. I had a look. I mean, I never heard back from the guy who said he had one, but then I had a look online, and I never found no pictures or nothing. So at the time, I thought he was probably just either having me on or mistaken or whatever. But then since I did see one on eBay, I think I bought this one around December, January. This is more like a moving-in present where me and my wife bought this house. So I bought this because I thought, well, I was in debt quite a lot. So I thought, well, what's another couple of hundred? Because I did pay a little bit more than I should have. But then again, it is very rare. I mean, I have seen a second one, which is in the box on eBay at this time. Though obviously by the time I upload this, whether it'll still be there or not, I don't know. At the moment, it's at £60, but it's like £45 shipping from China, so it's about £100 at the moment. About half of what I actually paid for this, but that is in the box. All this is missing is two guns, well, a gun and a sword. I didn't actually know what it came with, because obviously I got this loose from a guy from Spain or somewhere. I can't exactly remember now, somewhere around there. Right, so anyway, so this is obviously a jumbo size. This is quite a bit bigger than my double-sized Bruticus. I have got him here for a size comparison. We'll do him at the end. Anyway, that's enough talking from me. Let's bring on one of the figures. Now, there are 7 figures in this set, as opposed to the more normal 5. That's because it has 2 extra figures to form the feet of Defensor. Not totally sure why. I'm sure they could have just done 2 big foot plates, but they decided to give us 2 extra Transformers, which the first one is a giant backstreet with this giant bit added on. This is obviously the connector to connect him up as a foot plate, but it does look like he's got one massive tit on him, but there we go. You can't say fair on that, I suppose. The quality on these is below average. Transforming them, I've got all the limbs and everything in air-robot mode to go to the vehicle mode, because then that will save me a bit of time getting it into the combined mode, as opposed to hotspot over here. This one is actually not too bad, actually. It does have wheels, though they look a bit rubbish, obviously. They do turn, and you've got working wheels here, as opposed to the original one. These were just bits of moulded plastic onto the main body with a big wheel under there. So that's pretty cool. It does still have his working guns up the top here. As you can see, they're not spring-loaded or nothing, so you can just easily flip them away if you fancy. And then he's got a pretty bad face sculpt. You're not going to pick it out too much. I need a little bit of light, actually, when I'm doing this. Doing this on my living room table. Yes, I need a bit more light. Other than that, though, he's probably not the worst of the bunch. There's 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. Probably the worst of the bunch. Anyway, right, to transform this guy, exactly the same. Just transform him like so, and then actually. So now I can't get his bloody legs in now. This is the first time I've actually proper transformed these, and now I can't get epoxy legs in. It's just this one's bloody stuck. Hence, the problem with knockoff Transformers is that they have dodgy joints. Now, I didn't know that this. I swear I've transformed this before and never got bloody stuck. 1 second. Ah, there we go. It's all in. There we go. So it does. It's a bit dodgy there. Just got caught on the inside. Literally 2 seconds after I stopped it, it went back in. So anyway, so then we just close it back up, and it all fits together. And it forms a backstreet type kind of racing car. Now, what I plan to do with these, I do plan to give these, whenever I get a chance, probably in a few years' time now, I'm going to make this into a jumbo-sized Generation 2 set, so I repaint them as such, and then give them all Generation 2 logos and everything, because as they are, obviously these, I mean, this is... This is terrible. I'm going to do a size comparison. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a size comparison. This is obviously Groove. who is one of the most shittest Transformers you could probably get in the entire universe. And then this is my original Generation 1 Defensor. As you can see, the head comes up to the top of his chest there. Now, so that means he's quite massive, and you can see a little groove down here. There's the original groove. He barely comes up to his knee. So that shows just how big these guys are. But with size comes very, very poor quality. I mean, he's alright, but these feet don't tuck in as they should. You're supposed to separate the movement, the sides and everything. There's no gaps. As you can see, they're just here. Took me a while just to get these apart, so probably they're supposed to stay together for the duration of this toy, which, yeah, I suppose it works, but it looks a bit terrible, doesn't it? Again, I'll see if I can do something with that, but I probably won't be able to be honest. Well, I probably could, but I just couldn't be bothered. I don't think it needs it. So anyway, we all know how shit Gru's road mode is, so we'll just carry on. Now then, we're going to fold the head back in, and we're going to turn this into its motorbike. Now, it does have some problems. We're going to lock the feet in, which they do stay in. This front section does not tab in at all. The head just gets in the way of this back rear bumper section, whatever you call it, mudguard even. It just will not click into place. It feels like it wants to, or it has. As kind of, which is a first. It's sort of supposed to. There you go. But the front wheel does. That's the first time. Do you know what? It's the first time I managed to get it to do that, and it does sort of roll. So there we go. Normally it sort of just sits all the way up there, and then it doesn't even touch the ground. But there we go. I've managed to get it in. There we go, and it does sort of roll. You know, as a motorcycle, it ain't too bad. Just as a robot, it is dreadful. Put him aside. Who are we going to come to next? We're going to come to the other new member of this team. This is obviously a jumbo-sized Waver. Is it? Yeah, Waver. From the Multiforce. Now, this robot is really terrible. It's a terrible road mod anyway. You know, it was pretty basic. Yeah, it's pretty basic. It's a basic. Right, so I was just looking at my camera. It's, you know, there's not much you can do with it. It didn't really improve on it. It's not made it any worse. I mean, it's got a bad head sculpt. Not the original head, but this is just it's been knocked off, or if you want. It still does have the extra head in between there, and you can push it all the way through. I'm not going to bother. To be honest, to transform it, we are going to push the head down. Actually, do you know what? If I can get it, you can sort of see it tucked in there, which is a bit strange. So we're going to put them together, bring the feet out, put them together, put them in. I had to cut that sticker in half just to get the feet apart, so I don't know what you're supposed to do normally. As you can see, it's got like a little siren thing. Not siren, obviously, that makes noise, but this is the light bit of whatever you call it. The word escapes me for the minute. And so that transforms there. You put that down, and then fold these down, and then become, what was it, hydrofoil boat, something like that, which is pretty cool. You know, it's as little rescue vehicles, aren't they? It's not too bad. So there we go. That is his alt mode. Not one of the worst ones. I mean, he does have a little trouble standing, but the robot mode on that one is pretty terrible anyway. Or basic, rather, I suppose. So we're going to go on to Blades next. Now, Blades is actually half and half, one of the worst ones and one of the best, if you want my opinion. Now, his robot mode is flawed big time. He does have these arms, but unfortunately they're very, very loose. Now, the way they've done it, I don't know if you can see. Oh, I just moved everything. I don't know if you can see in there. You can see just a little pin just behind his head, and that's what holds the arm in. It sort of flops about in there. You can see the black bit moving. There's nothing really to hold it in there. It doesn't really hold together very well at all. So the arms end up being really loose. It took me about 5 inches to free one of these arms because there's a tab. Is it this one or is it? I can't remember what it is now. I thought it was this one because it can't be any of the others. Yes, it was this one. As you can see, there's a little ridge. Hang on, if I can see it, just there where my fingertip is. You can see that ridge there. On the other side, the ridge is a lot bigger, just in there. And his arm, once you transform it, because I'm going to transform it now, you push these in, as you can see, you've got to push it past the ridge and it goes in there and it sort of tucks away and everything. It's quite bad, this figure. It is very badly done. It sort of needs taken apart. Well, I'm afraid to do that because you think about getting it back together again. Now his head does come down for combined mode, which is pretty good. I was a bit worried about that. Anyway, we'll put him back. Jesus Christ, you do worry every time you transfer one of these knockoffs, especially when they're this poor quality. You do worry about is a bit going to fall off any second. Anyway, once you've got him back, it does hold together remarkably well, but that's probably just because of the bits that are rubbing together past each other. And you close that back up. Now, this is his helicopter mode, and it looks pretty good. I like it. It's still got the 2 blades, which is pretty cool. But it looks amazing. You can imagine that. And if you was to put him up against a G1 version of Groove, it's almost in scale now, almost. So you can imagine him flying around. It still does have the posts for some guns, which is pretty cool. I was thinking of going on Shapeways and just sort of like buying some guns, like a chain gun, giving them all guns like you had seen in the Generation 2 comic, or when I paint them up to be Generation 2. I think they look damn fucking good, to be honest with you. Still, anyway, so that is Blades. Blades is one of my favourites in helicopter mode, anyway. Right, then we're going to come on to another one of the dodgy ones. This is Streetwise. As you can see, he's massively tall. I can't even get him on shot, but you're not missing much because there's the head sculpt. It's pretty dire. It's one of the most poorest robot modes. Let me just see if I can angle it just for a second. It's one of the most direst Transformers, again, along with Groove. It just looks terrible. You know, he's got his arms and everything. I think you're supposed to separate these feet on this version, but I did that earlier and then they all just fell apart, so I'm not even bothering. As you can see, all these little bits in there, they just comes apart. There's nothing really holding it together, so I'm not going to bother. So to transform this guy, now you just rotate this up, bring the arms down past his bonnet, rotate that around, fold his little, oh, let's get it on camera, fold his little bonnet up, there we go. Now you push the arms in. And from the sides, obviously, this little bit, which is going to be used for transformation to DEFENSOR, which flips away. And now then, added a little bit is they put a couple of extra posts on here, and you tuck these into the hands, and that works remarkably well for a change on a knockoff figure. Then you just come back here, rotate this all around, and then this is, it looks a little ugly. Sort of fold it around, and there is his police car mode. It's a little dodgy. You can sort of see bits hanging out the back, but and it doesn't really hold together too well at all, really. It looks like it should be something like that. I think they put a pivot in the wrong place, if I'm honest. Look, still, there we go. What can you do? So anyway, it's okay. It does roll pretty well, and it doesn't look too bad once you get the arm away and everything like that. I think this looked good. I think the Generation 2 one is black. So that looked pretty damn good, I think, when I do it all in black. With a nice big G2 logo maybe there or somewhere. Tighten a few joints up, see what I can do. Yeah, that looked pretty good. Anyway, we're going to pop him over there. Then we come to the last one, which is First Aid. Not a bad at all rope mode. Again, I don't know if I'm supposed to split these legs. I'm not going to bother on this version of it. I know you don't on the G1. Not going to bother on this one. I love how they've painted the face. Look at it, looks like a skull or something. It looks pretty evil to me. What the hell that is supposed to say, I haven't got a clue. What I do love about these knockoffs is the English translations you see on them. They're just hilarious sometimes. I can't believe it. There was one I bought a while ago, and it is actually really, really funny. Still, right, anyway. But as a robot goes, he's not too bad. He does have the same sort of problem with his arms as Blades, though this one does hold together pretty much more better. The wheels do turn. He does have some horrible paint splashing from over there from somewhere, but there's hardly anywhere that uses blue paint apart from the windows. So I'd imagine it's come from there or something, but there we go. It does have some odd stickers hanging around. But he don't look too bad in robot mode. He's not too bad. Right, we're going to close him up. Some bits always want to go away, other bits just don't. I hate that. Close these up. Some people say, well, you shouldn't buy knockoff figures, but I love these figures like this. These are the knockoff figures that I love, right? So you can close it up like that, and that'll hold them pretty damn well in there. Now, I do realise I've made a fundamental mistake. I'm going to have to open these out. Due to the transformation, you've got to pull his arms out first. I noticed this earlier, and now I probably won't get his poxy arm out. Yeah, it looks like it's well shut in there. Go out, that's it, there we go. Right, so now you've actually got to fold these legs in. And now you don't get hardly any clearance. As you can see, it's hitting the back of this. So you just got to force it. Trying not to break anything. So you just have to force it. There you go. See, it's got caught on that bit. And there we go. Force it around. There we go. Then you can put the arms away. There we go. You put the arms away. And you sort of tuck in. Tuck that around. Force that into place. Force that tab into the back of that one. There we go. And then close it up. And then you've got a pretty decent ambulance. Now this is probably a lot bigger than Generation 1 Ratchet. I think Ratchet probably comes up to, what, about there maybe? So it's actually pretty good. And it does roll, sort of. It looks a little uneven. Looks like it's higher at the front than it is the rear. Yeah, but it looks alright to me. Yeah. I'm going to put it in my rear actually because I'm running out of room over there. Right, I'm going to put Streetwise over there. I'm going to put Wing Waver over here, and we're going to bring on now the main guy. This is, oh bloody hell. This is obviously Hotspot. Now Hotspot isn't too bad at all actually. He does have one problem, but I'll come to that in a second. He rolls quite well. He's sort of almost pivoting on that wheel there. This little grey bit doesn't want to stay. Oh, it does now, does it? Well, it doesn't usually want to stay in there. Oh, there it goes. Come off. Now he does have the working thing. I'm not going to pull this out because it's a bit of a nightmare to get it back in, but it does telescopic all the way, as you can see. I'm going to put that back. But that works pretty well. It doesn't come with any other accessories. It's supposed to go with come with a gun and a sword, but obviously this one didn't. It was loose. I was a little bit worried when I sent away for this. I thought the guy was going to try and do me, but he actually sent it, which is pretty good. I think it's amazing. I really do like it. Right, as you can see, this is split apart. Now there's a reason for that. As you can see, he's got a little tab just there. I don't know if you can see it, just there, and a little hole just there. Now I use that to keep it all together, and it works pretty well. Now he does have another tab, this one here. I'm going to sit to what there is, and that works amazingly well at keeping them together. Works so well, in fact, you can't get the bastard apart. You can, but I had to wedge the knife in between it and literally force it apart, which it just needs probably that filing down slightly to allow it a more solid connection. Anyway, we are going to now transform this to robot mode because I've been droning on far too long as it is, and you're all probably saying that right about now anyway. Right, so usual transformation, nothing different. Yeah, sorry that some of this is off camera. You're not missing much, believe me. Come around here. Gonna redo my camera. A second. There we go. Just so you can see above that. Sorry, the one is a blue tack. I'm still using blue tack. Everyone else has probably got all their little tripods and everything. Now his hands are in here. These are a nightmare to get out because they just get caught on every little bit inside it. Still haven't figured out exactly a decent way of doing it. I did do it earlier. I just don't want to shift now. Now then, this is my knife that I use. A bit of a dodgy one. Did I use this earlier? I'm not sure I did. Actually, I'm going to put that down. It's bloody sharp. If you're watching this at home, don't use sharp knives. Come out. Anyway, right, you're not missing much. It's just his hands. I haven't got no holes in to hold any guns anyway. There you go. You can sort of see what I'm doing. It's hard. You just got to force it past bits. There we go. Oh, I got it. There we go. You just got to wiggle it in around. So as you can see, he's got no hole there to hold any gun of any sort. Going to do the big head reveal now. So we're going to come up, move him a little away. Exactly the same. It's there. Oh, you can't bloody see it. Right, hold on. I have to take off. There we go. There's his head. It's pretty good for same sort of thing as the Generation 1. And that's Hotspot. He is actually, look at the size of him, he's actually pretty good. Now, I'm going to bring in Defensor again. As you can see, Defensor now only comes up to his tummy. You know, it's looking quite big already, but now we've got to try and put all these together. Now we're going to put the hands away. We're going to attach the little tabs in here. Fits in there pretty well. If I can bring his arm bloody back down. This one's supposed to go in there. That fits in there pretty well. Fold this down. Fold these around. Now we're going to come to some others. Oh, I've never transformed this into Defensor, by the way. That goes away. So now he does have a few extra bits. He does have these gold chromed chest pieces. We're going to fit those on right now. I've got to be careful because I've never done this, so I don't know if any parts I shouldn't push in too far. That does fit in there. It does have another gold chromed waist piece. That's going to fit under there. And then it should fit into a little tab on his knees. On Hotspot's knees anyway. Yep, that'll do. Then we're going to come around to the back. We're going to rotate this around. Bring up the giant Defensor head. Bring that to the back. And there we have it. We've got a Defensor, kind of. Now then, we've got to do all the limbs. Right, so I think we bring out these, fold these down and around. Okay, so we've got them like this. Let's readjust my camera. Sorry about this, guys. Are they the same sort of level? Not really. But there's not much else I can do to reaffirm them. So we now have... not quite sure which is supposed to be which because I don't have a picture. Right. We're going to open out this. I think he's supposed to be an arm. We do have some hands. They're quite massive hands. I'm going to stick at the moment with my Generation 1. See how that ends up looking. So that is going to be an arm. Oh, bloody hell. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a bloody heart attack waiting to happen. Right, so we've got an arm there. Blades is going to be an arm. Extend. Fold these round. There we go, in there. Hopefully put a fist in there. Right, so it does hold it kind of, as you can see. That over there. Right, now then. Now we come to the fun bit. And now we see if this actually is going to turn into Defensor. Now we're going to leave that there for a second. We're going to grab Groove. Now I need to get height. Turn this round and see who's higher. Once you push this up. Groove looks slightly lower. No, look about the same. We are going to then stick Groove on here. So now he's got some wheels. This little man is going to go on here. That's probably not the right one. Now then, do these look like they're the same height? Right, so I readjusted my height thing and I think I've got it around the right way. Now then, we're going to try and attach these legs. I have no idea how these go on. That one looks about right. That goes on there. Oh, we've got a winner. Is that going to go in here? Yeah, kind of. Right, we're on. I'm going to leave in there. Right, hold on. So, we're going to put him over here for the moment. Let me pause it. Right, sorry about that. I just needed to make sure that some people weren't... there we go. That makes it look a little bit better, doesn't it? Right. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that I wasn't breaking anyone. So I've swapped Streetwise for First Aid. Now then, We are going to now attach this fist in there, and then we're going to try and attach these arms up here and see what happens. Oh, Jesus. There we go. I think I got one. I got one in. I'm not going to turn it. Sod that. Right, we're going to go for blades. In here. Come on, mate. In you go. Oh, that'll do, mate. I'm not moving the bloody thing. There we go. Right, so we've got this. I'm going to prop him up against the wall. Anyway, right, yeah, there we go. So we got him. There we go. Up against the wall there. Right, so we're going to move this back slightly. Try and get him. There we go. So then we can bring in a bit more of a comparison. We're going to bring in my Generation 2 Brutacast. And as you can see, he really does tower above Bruticus, which is a bit of a shame. But he looks amazing. Look at that. Look at that. And then we're going to bring in G1 Defensor. And as you can see, he just comes up to Groove's knee. It looks a monstrosity, I've got to admit. It doesn't hold together particularly well. Well, let me just attach it. But if you want my opinion, I think he looks great. And once I repaint him up, I think it'll look absolutely brilliant. Yeah, once I work on him, work on some of the joints and everything like that, get him to hold a little bit better, find out which bit is supposed to go where, maybe. I think he looks quite good, if I'm honest with you. I think just as a thing to put on his shelf as a giant oddity, that is actually looks pretty good. I really do like it. I ain't moving those arms. You can forget about that. I think it looks brilliant. Right, so this has been Graham, Collector 75. Hope you enjoyed this review, and I shall see you all again next time. Bye for now.